The process of buying a home works like this. Step 1 is getting financially pre-approved. That gives you an idea of how much you can spend on a home and helps the realtor and seller be sure that the money will be ready when you do get an offer accepted. Getting pre-approved doesn't cost any money, though it does involve some time. Also, we work very hard on your behalf with the anticipation that we will get paid when you close on a home, and as a result prefer to work with people that are serious about owning a home. The application to borrow at this stage is not yet binding to either party. It is just an application. There are only a few stages where you'll spend money up front before closing, all of which occur when the property goes into escrow. The first is called good faith money, or a deposit, which is a check you write when you write the offer. This is often 3% but varies around the country and can legally be as little as $10, though obviously this reflects on you and your offer. Other minor expenses may be required up front for various inspections. We have options for loans ranging from no doc, in which you don't prove anything in terms of income, assets, or employments, to fully documented, which are lower risk and therefore lower rate. We work with you based on your specific situation, so if you're concerned about your qualifications because of being self-employed or receiving a gift from your family, rest assured we'll work with you on the strengths and weaknesses of your file to best sell this to our investors. Once your application and any relevant documentation is received, we'll issue a letter of pre-approval. This letter promises that we'll have the money ready. This letter may look informal, but what matters is the phone calls and research into our reputation prior to accepting your offer. Step 2 is the fun part, shopping. Typically, this turns out to be more work than you expect, and after seeing several homes, you'll find a home close enough to suiting your needs that you'll write an offer. This offer will be countered, accepted, or declined. Once the offer is accepted, the property goes into escrow. Escrow is the process of transacting real estate. During that time, various inspections occur, due diligence about the property, appraisal, and loan is done, and loan paperwork is prepared for closing. Note you have numerous protections at this stage called contingencies. If the home inspection yielded information to show the foundation was slipping or other unforeseen damages, you'd have the opportunity to back out of the transaction and keep your deposit. Toward the end of the escrow period, you will sign formal loan documents. The seller will receive funds, the bank will get a legally binding loan, and you will receive the keys. Purchasing a home is an emotional experience. You will most likely feel a bit of buyer's remorse once your offer is accepted. This is because of the magnitude of the transaction and fear of making a mistake. The way to minimize this is to be very honest with your realtor, your loved ones, and most importantly, yourself. A realtor's tasks include knowing the current market conditions and laws surrounding contract details, as well as the political details of getting your offer accepted and listening to you, the client, to find what you want. We'll also ask you to tell us something personal to you, and that is what the idea of home means to you. Most people define the idea of home as a child between 6 and 9. What we really want to know is when you are home, in your mind, what do you experience? For some people it's hardwood floors and a fireplace. For others it's a yard with trees. Most importantly, let us know what that is so we can be sure to find it for you. Most people keep their first property 3 to 4 years before moving up. On average, Americans have 7 residences during their lifetime, and it is usually their third house that they spend the longest time in. That said, your first property is often just a stepping stone, and you may choose to adjust your expectations somewhat from dream home to starter home. Throughout the process, we will work with several professionals. First, the mortgage lender will provide you payments and financing options as part of the pre-approval process. All of the financial aspects of your home financing will be handled by the mortgage provider. The home inspector will provide you a very detailed report on the current state of repairs for the entire home. This will include the foundation, roofing, plumbing, electrical, and many more points. This is first and foremost to protect you, the buyer. You will most likely meet the inspector at the property, and this is a great time to discuss any questions about potential repairs or improvements you have to make. Also, I should note that they will find things wrong with the property, even if it's new construction. A home warranty is the recommended way to protect against any major repairs for the first year of home ownership. The cost is nominal compared to the protection it offers, which typically includes electrical, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning, and appliances. An appraiser's job is to give you a formal opinion of market value. The appraiser does this by reviewing similar sales in the area, as close as geographically possible and as recent as possible. They will compare your purchase price by cost per square foot, cost per bedroom, bathroom, lot size, and even make adjustments for view, construction quality, age of the property, lot location within your street, and more. An appraiser protects you, the buyer, to ensure that you are not overpaying for the property. An appraiser is also a tremendous resource to discuss potential improvements. A A qualified appraiser can tell you how adding a bedroom, fireplace, or bathroom would affect your resale value. Other parties such as HOA or homeowners association, or geological inspector or roofing contractors or other professionals may be involved based on the specific property type or location. The most common questions people have is surrounding costs. You'll receive several breakdowns throughout the process, and each will get more accurate the closer we get to closing. First, at time of pre-approval, you'll receive a good faith estimate. This is a rough guess of how the transaction may come together, but requires that we guess at a lot of other people's charges, which we have no control over. For example, title insurance is required to ensure that you're buying all the legal rights that should go with this property. Typically, the seller chooses these services, so the good faith estimate should be looked at as a first sketch. Once in escrow, we'll have a better idea of who your final investor or lender might be, as well as fees associated with legal and closing services, title, taxes, and related costs. A few weeks before closing, typically at time of approval, we will go over what's called an estimated HUD-1. This will be much more accurate, though it is still not final, so if there are any major issues or corrections, this is when they need to be made. Last, a few days before closing, you'll sign your loan docs. These are the final documents, and everything must be correct. Until this point, everything can be corrected, though it is very important to get it right as early as possible to avoid delays or extensions to closing, which could result in heavy fines or even lawsuits. Depending on your state, you'll either get keys at time of signing or a few days later at time of recording, which is the final step making it public record that you own the property and owe the bank a loan. Once the property has recorded, you have made the final step over the bridge to home ownership, an exciting and financially rewarding transition. Congratulations in advance, and we look forward to working with you in person.